Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Ayush and today we are diving into the world of web animations with GSAP. Before we get started, let me show you what type of animations you can create using GSAP. As you can see on my screen, this is the official website of GSAP and you can see the loading animation also. If I just scroll on this web page, this looks so eye pleasing. As you can see, like I'm scrolling to the web page, the elements are moving like this and also some elements like popping out, scaling, and too many things are happening. Let's start with the basic setup. Currently I am using Vanilla.js, so we are gonna use CDN, but we can also use this with frameworks too. Here I am on CDN.js website. I am just going to search for GSAP and click on this first link. As you can see, this is the 17k download. Over here I am just going to copy this orange link. Just copy this on copy script tag, and over here I am just going to paste it like this. Make sure you are pasting it just before your custom scripting tag, because if you are going to do it opposite, then it will give errors. Here we have finally set up with GSAP. Now let's understand how does the animation work over here. As you can see, I have a circle which I have to animate to the right side like this. Now here we have two states. Like first state is the start point. Let's call it a start point. And second state is the end point like this. As you can see, this is the start point, this is the end point. So animation is nothing but a journey from start point to the end point. Animation is nothing but a journey from start point to end point. This is the basic fundamental for GSAP to work with animation. Now this can be opposite also like this. It can be from end point to start point too. Let's dive into the practical. As you can see, I have a circle which I have to move to the right side as we have achieved in the presentation. Let's go to the script file, and over here I am going to write GSAP.to. GSAP2 is a function in which first parameter is the element. So I am going to target circle, circle. So this is a circle. If I just go to my index.html, this circle I am talking about, I am selecting that div. Okay. Over here I have a second parameter in which I am going to add the animated properties. For example, I have a property called X in which I have to move to the 500. So basically this means on X axis I have to move my element 500 pixels. If I just go to this output, as you can see, it moves from left to right. If I just refresh, it moves from left to right as I want to achieve. You can see this start point to end point. As we have shown in the presentation, the same thing is achieved over here too. Now it is like moving so fast. I want it slow. So I can add a duration property, duration, and over here I will add, let's suppose 5. So it will take 5 seconds to animate this thing. So now we have just achieved this method from start point to end point. Let's call it a GSAP.to method. Okay. From this method we have achieved this animation from start point to end point. What if I want to achieve like this from end point to start point? So I will just do one thing. I will just replace this to with from like this. As you can see, I have just replaced that to keyword to from keyword. Okay, like this. If I just go over here, and you can see as I want, it has been achieved. Let's see it again like this. As you can see over here. So when it will be useful, I have already developed my website and I want to add a GSAP animation. So at the end, it should place over here only. After animating, it should place over here. So at that time, this will be more helpful. Likewise, if I want this circle to move on the y-axis too, I can do that too. Let me add the y-axis property over here, and then over here I will, let's suppose, add a 100 pixel, and let me comment this x-axis code for some time. As you can see, it is moving on y-axis. If I just add this both property, then it will move like this. As you can see over here, let me refresh. So it is moving like this. Now let's see the GSAP object. As you already know, we write GSAP functions like this, GSAP.to. But if you think deeply, then this GSAP is an object which is already created by GSAP. As you can see, it is like this. We don't have to write this, but GSAP have already made an option like this so that we can use GSAP.to like that. Okay, if you want to confirm it, just go to console and just write over here like GSAP. As you can see, I have already written that GSAP, and you can see it is an object. Okay, So in this object we have methods, or let's say functions, which we use in it. Like as you already know, we have two functions, from function, GSAP.to, GSAP.from. This is nothing but a methods or function which we are using to animate using GSAP. Okay. In GSAP object, we are having in total of 4 different methods which we use to animate our element. They are GSAP.to function, GSAP.from function, GSAP.from2 function, and GSAP.set. We have already discovered the GSAP.to and GSAP.from. Now let's see the rest of the two methods which we haven't covered yet. The first method is set method. What does set do is, it just skips the duration and just jumps from start point to end point. Let's see this with the example. As you can see over here, I have written from. I will just replace this with set, and as I just show you output, then you will see it will just stick to the end point. If I just want to see this jumping, then I can add a delay of, let's suppose, 1 second. I have added a delay of 1 second. So as you can see, after 1 second it is moving from start point to end point. The next method is from-to method. This is basically combination of from method and to method. That's why we have 3 parameters over here. The first parameter is the element. Second parameter is from object. The third parameter is the to object. Let's see this with the example. I will just replace this set keyword with from-to like this. I have already like the element selector and the from object. And over here I will just add a to object like this. And I will, let's say, on x-axis I want like 100 pixel, and on y-axis I want like, let's suppose 0. Okay, on y-axis 0. Let's add a background color also. Background color like this. Make sure it is a camel case, and over here let's suppose I add a red color. So what I am saying, from x-axis like this over here, move it to like this and change the color to red. Okay, that's like simple thing. As you can see, whatever I want, it has been achieved. Like it is moving little faster, so I guess I will have to add this duration on to method like this. So what it will does is, it takes a 2 seconds to move to run this animation. So now we have covered all 4 methods which we will be using for our GSAP animation. Let's move further, and further we have the element property. As we have already seen, the every method has a first parameter of the element selector. So we can target this element using multiple ways. The first way is the variable, second is class or ID selector, the third way is array of selector, array of element. Let's see the variable selector. As you can see over here, I have created a variable called ELE and assigned my element using document.querySelector to this variable ELE. And then I have just passed this ELE as a first parameter in my function, as you can see over here. We can also target the element using the class selector or ID selector like this, as you can see over here. So internally GSAP uses document.querySelector all to select all the element. Also we can also create an array of element like this and pass it in the first parameter of this GSAP functions. Let's move to our GSAP object. As you can see, we have already covered with the methods and the first parameter, that was element selector. Now let's move to the second parameter. In second parameter, what we do is we pass information about our animation which we are going to play on our website. As you already know, in the second parameter we were passing an object which was having information about the animation. If I just show you in the code, this was our second parameter in which we have passed the information like on x-axis how much I want to move, on y-axis how much I want to move, what will be the duration of the animation. If I want to change the color, then I can also set that too. So this all was the details about our animation which we were passing in the second option. If you want to know more about this option, you can come to the official documentation. As you can see on my screen over here, you will find a table in which you will find all options which we can animate. As you can see, we have the scale option, we have like rotation, we have skew, we have transform origin, like we have repeat, we have opacity, like this. This all things you can do using the second parameter. Now let's create 3 circles over here. I will just repeat my existing circles only. As you can see, I have 3 circles which is moving parallelly. What I want is, it should not move parallelly, it should move one after another after some delay. Okay, so to do the same thing, what I do is, I will just go to my script and add an information called stagger. Okay, stagger, let's suppose 0.5. What I am saying is after 0.5 second, the next element should be moved. If I just make it 1, then what happens is it will move after one after another. As you can see, after 1 second of hold, it is moving the second element. Now let's understand how does GSAP actually perform this animation. As we already know, we are having a start point and we are having an end point. What GSAP does is it creates multiple breakpoints between the animation. If I just show you a visualization, then it will look like this. It has a multiple breakpoint between the animation and it just moves from one breakpoint to another till the end point. Okay, from start point to end point, it just moves from one breakpoint to another. If I just inspect this circle, and as you can see over here, it has some inline property, translate, rotate, like that. If I just refresh my page, then you will see the animating property. As you can see over here, the elements is having the property change. This is very helpful because I can just pause my animation at any time or at any breakpoint, and also I can just scrub to all breakpoints to achieve multiple effects or multiple functions using this that we will be covering in further videos.